Cinema has always had a habit of amplifying reality. From explosions that defy physics to creatures that seem larger and deadlier than anything nature could produce, Hollywood thrives on spectacle. Prehistoric animals, especially dinosaurs, have often been reshaped for dramatic effect. Many have been scaled up, given exaggerated strength, or redesigned to appear more menacing than fossil evidence suggests. Yet, among these cinematic reinventions, there is one remarkable exception. Despite being altered on screen, this dinosaur was actually more formidable in real life than its movie portrayal. Long before it became famous in theaters, it was one of the dominant predators of the early Jurassic and the largest animal in its ecosystem during its prime. This was Dilophosaurus. Discovery. Although global audiences became familiar with Dilophosaurus following the release of Jurassic Park, paleontologists had known about this predator for more than 8 decades. Its story began in 1940 when 3 individuals of varying sizes were uncovered in the early Jurassic Kayenta Formation of northern Arizona. The discovery was extraordinary, particularly because one specimen was nearly complete, an uncommon treasure at a time when many theropods were known only from fragmentary remains. However, paleontology in the mid-20th century was still developing. Misclassifications were common, and Dilophosaurus was no exception. Classification. At first, scientists believed the fossils represented a new species of Megalosaurus, another Jurassic carnivore known from Europe. For nearly 2 decades, this classification remained unchallenged. Then, a better preserved specimen was discovered in the same region. Its skull was more complete, revealing a crucial feature that earlier fossils had obscured: a crest. Closer inspection showed that the crest fragment found earlier was positioned slightly off-center, suggesting that the animal possessed not one, but 2 distinct crests running along the top of its skull. This revelation made it clear that the animal was not Megalosaurus at all. It was renamed Dilophosaurus, meaning 2-crested lizard, and placed into its own group, the Dilophosauridae, alongside one other relative, Dracoventer. Size. The newer specimen that clarified its identity also turned out to be the largest ever found. This fully grown adult measured approximately 7 meters or 23 feet from snout to tail. That length rivals some later Jurassic predators, though Dilophosaurus had a more lightly built, hollow-boned frame. Paleontologists estimated weighed around 400 kilograms, roughly the mass of a brown bear. While it was not as massive as later theropods like Allosaurus or Tyrannosaurus, Dilophosaurus was the largest known land predator in North America during the early Jurassic. Ironically, the version shown in Jurassic Park was significantly downsized to prevent confusion with the Velociraptor. This creative decision led many viewers to believe it was a small predator, when in reality it towered over its ecosystem. Neck frill and crest function. One of the most famous cinematic additions to Dilophosaurus was the dramatic neck frill, likely inspired by the modern frilled lizard, which uses its display to intimidate predators. There is no fossil evidence that Dilophosaurus possessed such a frill. What it did have, however, were 2 prominent crests composed of thin bone extending from its snout to behind the eyes. These crests were delicate structures, likely covered in keratin during life. Because keratin rarely fossilizes, their exact appearance remains uncertain. Early theories proposed that the crests aided in thermoregulation given the warm climate of its habitat. Today, most researchers favor the idea that they function in visual communication, perhaps for species recognition or sexual selection. Variation among specimens suggests that individuals may have displayed unique crest shapes or sizes. The notion that these crests were used as battering tools has largely been dismissed. Their fragile construction would not have withstood repeated impacts. Deadly jaws. Far more dangerous than decorative crests were Dilophosaurus's jaws. Its skull was proportionately large, sometimes making up nearly 10% of its total body length. Within its mouth were around 30 long, slender teeth, each curved and serrated. Some teeth featured over 70 serrations combined on their front and rear edges, making them highly effective at slicing flesh. These blade-like teeth would have inflicted severe wounds, leading to rapid blood loss in prey animals. Scavenger, hunter, or fisher. For years, debate surrounded Dilophosaurus's feeding habits. A noticeable gap near the front of its upper jaw led some paleontologists to speculate that its skull was structurally weak. This interpretation suggested it might have been a scavenger or a predator of small animals. However, more recent biomechanical studies have challenged these assumptions. The gap in its skull appears to have been reinforced and stable in life, capable of handling significant stress. This evidence, combined with its large size, indicates it was fully capable of hunting sizable terrestrial prey. Confirmed attacks on other dinosaurs. Compelling fossil evidence supports this conclusion. Bite marks discovered on the bones of Ceratosaurus match the dimensions and spacing of Dilophosaurus teeth. Since Ceratosaurus was among the largest herbivores in the same environment, these marks strongly suggest active predation rather than scavenging. Dilophosaurus likely targeted a range of animals, from large dinosaurs to smaller vertebrates and fish when opportunities arose. Its ecological role appears to have been that of a versatile apex predator. Powerful arms and claws. Its jaws were not its only weapons. Dilophosaurus possessed long, muscular arms with deep muscle attachment sites. Each hand carried 3 claws, with the first being particularly large. These limbs were flexible and strong, allowing the predator to grasp struggling prey and deliver slashing blows. Such arm strength made escape even more unlikely once a victim was caught. Speed and physiology. Contrary to fictional portrayals involving venom spitting, Dilophosaurus relied on speed and agility. Its lightweight skeleton and long legs suggest impressive running ability. Evidence of air sacs within its vertebrae indicates a bird-like respiratory system with unidirectional airflow, a trait shared with birds and crocodilians. This system would have supported a high metabolic rate, enhancing stamina and activity levels. Possible pack behavior. The discovery of 3 individuals together has led to speculation about group living. Some researchers suggest they may have hunted cooperatively in small packs, perhaps limited to 3 members due to resource constraints. While definitive proof remains elusive, the possibility adds another dimension to its predatory capabilities. Range and time. Dilophosaurus lived approximately 183 million years ago during the early Jurassic, when the supercontinent Pangaea still existed and the global ocean Panthalassa surrounded it. The planet was still recovering from the Triassic-Jurassic extinction event, and ecosystems were rebuilding. Climate and habitat. Its environment was harsh and variable. Extended dry seasons brought migrating sand dunes, while wetter periods revived rivers and streams. The presence of the prehistoric Lake Dixie would have provided critical water and food resources during droughts. Coexisting animals. Despite environmental challenges, Dilophosaurus shared its habitat with diverse life forms. Dinosaurs like Meganopsaurus roamed nearby, along with crocodile relatives, early mammals, sharks, fish, amphibians, and pterosaurs like Ramphinian. Yet none rivaled Dilophosaurus in size or predatory dominance. True legacy. Hollywood's portrayal may have introduced Dilophosaurus to millions, but its real-life story is far more impressive. A towering apex predator with slicing teeth, powerful arms, impressive speed, and remarkable resilience, it stood as the undisputed ruler of early Jurassic North America. Dilophosaurus is just one example of an animal whose modern image differs greatly from reality. If you're interested in learning about other creatures that were once much more imposing than commonly believed, be sure to check out my previous video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the true power of Dilophosaurus. Until next time. Subscribe to the Antique Animal channel and follow us to explore the most powerful and mysterious ancient creatures that once ruled the Earth.